Hello and welcome to Grounded Conversations by Live, Laugh, Love, Smile. For those who don't know, I'm Liv. I hope you're all having a lovely week. I know most of you probably would have started college like a few weeks ago. I know I did, and obviously like year 13, A-level, it's already getting a bit overwhelming, to say the least, but that might just be me and all the work we're being set, but it's okay. Like, I know, especially after having like a massive summer off, going back and having all this work and having to be at college somewhere, just having to like be out for so many hours of the day has definitely been a wake up call. So I know everything's already going really, really quickly. Like already being on the third week is crazy. Like it felt like the first day back was yesterday. And I know year 12 went like rapid. And I think it's important to kind of like, when life is going quickly, as it is for a lot of you, as it goes quickly for most people, to be honest, I think it's very hard to kind of slow down. I think it is important to try and find ways to kind of take a step back and slow down and just like spend time with yourself and spend time just away from all the busyness. So I wanted to talk to you about that today because I think it is a very important thing, especially when a lot of you will probably have exams coming up in the near future. So I know I, for one, I've been like meditating every day, and I know that sounds like, what the fuck, that's a lot. But it's just like, I don't think I do more than 10 minutes a day. I think just give off the time to just sit by myself and just breathe helps me a lot. But obviously everybody is different, and I know because of how fast paced the world can be, especially when we have like social media and stuff, especially TikTok, you can go through thousands of videos in a minute if you're scrolling that quickly. Like it's crazy how quick the world has become and how like little everybody's attention spans have changed to be as well. And I know it's really hard when we do have things like social media and phones to kind of take a step back and actually like slow down a bit, because does the world does operate in a really, really quick pace and everything does go by so quickly, so it's really hard to kind of take the moment. But I know a few things I like to do to kind of slow down and just breathe and relax is I think it's a really good idea to like spend a few hours a week or even just an hour a week just away from social media and away from your phone doing other stuff. And obviously that could be anything from reading a book, playing guitar, colouring, and honestly I think that kind of takes you away from online can be so helpful, because look, if we're running at screens for that long, for as long as, especially for me, when I look at my screen time, it's a bit worrying. But it's not very healthy to be looking at screens that much. I think it's become kind of normalised, especially with how popular social media is and how we kind of like celebritize and idolise people on social media. I don't think it's very good. And I think, obviously, I get why people enjoy it. Like, there's obviously celebrities and influencers that I love to watch online and on social media. But I think it's important to take a step away from that, especially because it can kind of put a mask onto what we see our day-to-day lives. If we're always seeing these beautiful, beautiful people, you can kind of start to, without even realising it, comparing yourself to these people you don't even know in real life. So I think it is time just to I think it is really, really good to kind of just take a step back, realise how amazing you are, and just spend time with yourself rather than getting like lost in the crowd and the sea of everything online. But I think it definitely helps, whether it's just like eating without going on your phone, colouring. And I know these are all like, it's hard to do these things at first, because especially like when you get so used to just going on your phone and just checking your emails or something like that, it's so hard to kind of like get out of the habit. But I think there's other ways that you can kind of help yourself slow down. Like connecting with nature is such a big one. Because I know for me, whenever I get like kind of upset or overwhelmed, if I just go for a walk in a park, or just go for a walk around, just a walk anywhere that's like naturey, it honestly makes me feel so relaxed and a lot more grounded, which I think is really important. I think it's so important to just slow down and stay grounded, because I think it helps you think a bit clearer as well, and it helps you kind of just spend time thinking about your thoughts and clearing your thoughts a little bit. I think it's also really important to have a kind of routine. You know, obviously, like, it's hard. Like, I'm not going to tell you to wake up at 5 a.m. every day or even 6 a.m. every day, because that is not realistic and nobody really wants to do that. No matter how many books you read, telling you, oh, wake up early birds get the worm. Well, not if they're really, really tired and start sleeping part of the day. Early birds get the worm, cool. great. But if you're going to end up like waking up so early to the point you end up just dropping off to sleep halfway through the day, is it really worth waking up that early? Probably not. So having a routine doesn't necessarily have to be waking up at the same time every day. If you do that, mad respect. Love that for you. But I think just like, I know like my routine is just like wake up. I'll be honest. First thing I do when I wake up is probably go on my phone, which probably needs to change, but that's okay. Having a set routine of like things I listen to in the morning and stuff. Like I know on YouTube there's quite a lot of like motivational videos and stuff, which like if you're the type of person that kind of needs, I really need a push in the morning to kind of like get me in the mindset to be productive for the rest of the day. Honestly, so recommend some of these YouTube videos, because I think just having somebody talk to you, or like obviously they're not talking to you, they're probably doing a public speech, but you're just listening to afterwards. But I think just hearing somebody talking about things that you kind of struggle to do, it kind of just like, okay, I need to get going, I need to do this. And then that kind of defeats what you needed to slow down. But it's a nice just little push in the morning. And I think definitely like social media is such a big thing. Just like staying off it for a period of the day is so important. Because I know for me, when I do spend hours on like when I do go on social media, just saying to myself, oh yeah, I'm just going to go on TikTok for 5 minutes is never ever 5 minutes, if we're honest. It's more like 5 hours. Okay, that's an exaggeration. That's a very much an exaggeration. But either way, I think it is so important, just like, even if just like when you're getting ready in the morning, just say to yourself, okay, I won't go on TikTok until I come back home after college. I'll do other stuff on my phone until I get to this point in the day, and then I'll let myself go on social media. I know on my phone, I can put like focus modes on, and then so like I can select specific apps. So if I'm like at a point where it's just like, okay, I really don't need to be in social media today, it's not really helping my mental health, kind of need a break to just ground myself, slow down, cool. I change the focus mode thing to just like be the meditating apps I use, the Bible app I have, and then Spotify as well, because sometimes I just prefer to just listen to a podcast or music, because that really helps me kind of calm down and sort my head out. So I always do that, so like I can't even click on the social media apps without having to go back into the other settings app and turn it off. And I know some people put like screen time things on their phone to kind of stop them doing that. But I know like when I did that on my phone, it literally gave me the option to add more time or to change the timer. So I just ended up doing that instead. So, but I think another way that can help you kind of slow down and just spend time with yourself is doing something creative. And obviously that can mean different things to anybody, because there's so many things that like being creative like entails. Like it could literally be anything from like playing an instrument, for being like a painter and artist, poetry, writing a book. Honestly, there's so many things that go into the creative. Like I don't even want to call it a box, because it's like you can't really put creativeness into its own little section, because there's so many wide things that you can like latch into it. But I think being creative can also help when you do like have a lot on your mind, so it can kind of help you slow down and put your thoughts into things. Like whether some people like journaling, but I know I find writing poems can help. But I mean, whatever helps you kind of take a break, slow down, and just like get your thoughts straight. I think it definitely helps you stay grounded and stay like put, in a sense. Because of how fast the world can be, it can often feel very overwhelming and very stressful. And so I think doing something that helps you kind of like breathe, or just like, that's why I find like meditating so good. Because I know when I get overwhelmed, I end up just like, not panic attacks, this is like really, really bad. But I think I just like forget to breathe properly. Like I think that sounds so weird, but I know what I mean. I think when I just get stressed and overwhelmed, I just take like shallower breaths. And when I spend time just taking deeper breaths, it really does help me like slow down and just focus on the moment and enjoy what's around me. And I know there's literally a quote on my wall, there's actually a few. It says like, don't look back, you're not going that way. And I think it's so hard when the world is moving so fast. You have that much time to process stuff while it's happening. You end up looking back on the past quite a lot, or looking towards the future of what could happen. And while planning for your future and having dreams is great, and obviously I think it's needed to sometimes reflect on the past. But I think a lot of us forget to just focus on the present moment and what's happening in the now. And I think that's something I know I'm definitely doing that more, because I think, like, if you think, like, obviously you've all probably experienced leaving a school or leaving a job, just like leaving some part of your life. Then you leave and then you end up looking back and it's like, oh, actually I remember that time. Like I went to the park with my friends. I remember the time we had like that for lunch. I remember that trip we went on. Just stuff like that. I think when you thinking about it afterwards, but you could have enjoyed it more in the moment, in a sense. And I think it's so important to be grateful for everything you have now. Because the more you're grateful for now, the more that will come to you because you're grateful. Because if you spent every day thinking about, oh, I don't have these things, I want to have these things in 5 years' time. Oh, I had like 5 years ago, really wish I were here. If you spent so much time thinking about what you don't have anymore, or what you don't have but you want, it kind of just, I don't know, I just don't think you'll end up getting there as quick as you want. Like you won't end up receiving the like love and friends and whatever you want, whatever you dream of in life. Whereas if you actually spend time in the moment and think, oh my god, this is actually really great, this is amazing, I'm really enjoying today, I'm actually really grateful for all my friends, or the food I've had today, the water I have. Just there's actually so many things to just be grateful for, and just, yeah, I think it's so important to practice gratitude every day anyways, because I think there's a lot we take for granted. And I think it's just nice to think, oh yeah, actually I really like having that person as a friend. Oh yeah, I actually really liked how the sky looked today. That was a really cute cloud. Oh, I really liked the flowers that like my friend gave me today. I really liked this, really like that. I think just spending time each day to kind of reflect and spend time being grateful is so important as well. And I think it's also, if you are grateful for your friends, tell them, because you're not going to complain if your friend messages you, like, oh my god, I'm so grateful for you, I'm so glad I have you as a friend. That's not going to make you like hate yourself. You'll probably smile. So if you can do that to your friends as well, I think it kind of helps everybody. I think it makes the world a bit of a nicer place. I think it's quite sweet. I love writing letters to my friends, especially when it's their birthdays and stuff. Like, I'll literally have a birthday card, and the whole card, like literally both sides, will be filled with just writing to my friends. And like my friends they never really know what to say back, because I think I'm quite a good writer, and I can be quite a natural writer. So I think when I give my friends these cards, and sometimes even these like letters full of these like amazing things and compliments about them, they're just like, I obviously think the same about you, but I don't know how to put that into words. So sweet though. But yeah, I think honestly spend time being grateful, spend time in nature. Just try do everything at a bit slower pace. There's not a rush for anything, so just take your time. Everything that's meant to be for you will come to you. Just like, I know they're saying like, I don't chase, I attract, but honestly, if you develop the mindset and detach from everything and just be like, oh, I don't chase, I attract, what is meant for me will come to me, and just have faith in that. Honestly, it's many things change for you. So I think definitely try to do that. I'm not an expert on that, but I have been listening to loads of podcasts about like, I don't chase, I attract. So they have all been really interesting, to be honest. I know it is September. Obviously, it's September now. I'm not sure when you're listening to this, but Suicide Prevention Month, and I think I'm not going to go into like that loads right now, because I think it is best if it is a separate episode. But I think I'll do that at some point later on in the year, possibly, or next year, because honestly, suicide prevention and talking about it can't be confined to 1 month, because it's such a massive topic that it should be just talked about more often than it is, because I think it's something we all kind of just like, I think a lot of people kind of hide the feelings and they just don't, there's not as much like emphasis on it as there probably should be. But I mean, obviously I'm not going to go into it loads, but I just want everybody to know, everybody who's watching it to know, that no matter what you're going through, I promise it will get better and it will be okay. And I know it's like, who the hell is this girl on the internet telling me everything's going to be okay? But trust me, I've been there and everything gets better. Just like, please, please, please try your best to hold on and carry on. And I know it's so, so much easier said than done. But there's help sites online that can give you a professional to talk to. And I know, obviously, if they think you're going to do something then and there, they will contact, like, authorities. But you just need to, like, advise or something. Or just, like, even to just, like, look at things online. I know the NHS has some stuff. Childline does, but I think in order to talk to them, you have to be under 21. I think there's something called Shout. There's Young Minds. Young Minds is good as well. But I just, honestly, anything you're going through, I promise you it can only get better. And I mean, you have to experience the lowest of lows in order to reach the highest of highs. And you can't get any flowers without rain. Which, that's one of my, like, favourite quotes ever. And I know you could be literally still sitting here and being like, what the hell is this going on about? But there's so many more people in this world that love you and that care about you than you know. And if you're like, no, I don't think so, I think you're lying to me. Well, I know for one, if you're watching this, I love you. And I'm so, so grateful for you just watching this and for just listening to me talk about absolute nonsense. So I'm grateful for you and I love you for one. And I mean, think about all the stuff, if you are going through, like, stuff like that and you are really struggling, think about all the amazing things in this world. Like, I know it's on about being grateful and just, but think about all the sunsets you haven't seen yet, or the flowers you haven't seen, countries you haven't visited, people you haven't met. Like, one of my favourite quotes, or like whatever, or sayings ever, is you haven't met all the people that are going to love you yet. Which, I think it's just, like, a cute thing to think about. Like, if you think there's, 7 billion people on the planet? And you probably haven't even met, you probably even haven't met, like, 1% of all those people. You've met, like, such a small percentage of people. Like, if you carry on and just stay for, like, a little bit longer, just as long as you can, just carry on, keep holding out, you will meet so many people that will learn to love you. Because you're a lot easier to love than people let you believe and what you believe. Like, I honestly swear that you're probably so loved by people that you don't even realise love you that much. And again, I promise that everything will be okay. Everything will be good. And if you're just experiencing negative thoughts, just positive affirmations can help a lot. And I know it's really hard to just, like, say to yourself, oh, I love myself, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, all this stuff. I know it can kind of sound really cheesy, but even just, like, listening on YouTube to positive affirmations, it can kind of just, like, after a while, it can kind of help change your mindset and become more positive. But I know, especially, like, going back to you haven't met all the people that will love you yet. I know when I was really struggling with stuff in my life, I had this acting group where I met some of my best friends ever. And I honestly give these people credit for saving my life, because they're just such amazing, beautiful, gorgeous people. And I'm so, so grateful that I ended up joining this acting place and I made these amazing friends. And then from that acting thing, this is just proof that everything will get better and things will really improve. But they do a West End module where you get given, like, a script for a West End show that they make just for these, like, acting groups, like the place I went to. And then then you spend, like, so many months on this thing, and then you get to perform it in London on the West End. So, like, imagine if I hadn't joined that place, I hadn't carried on and thought, okay, let's just give it a go, see what happens. Things will get better. West End, like, even now it's still crazy thinking about it. And, like, that's something else that I probably could have enjoyed more and spent more time just loving it in the moment. But trust me, everything will get so, so much better. I promise you, everything will get better. More people love you than you know. You are such an amazing person, whether you believe it or not. And I know it's like, I've probably like you, or this is probably your, like, first time ever seeing me for some of you. But honestly, hand on heart, everything will improve. And I believe that, honestly, you can do anything you want in this life. Whether people are doubting you, whether you're doubting yourself, honestly, everything will be fine. Everything will work out in the end. And if you're, like, the lowest point, then things can only get better and things can only go up. So keep that in mind. I think if you are, like, stressed and getting overwhelmed with so much stuff, do some of the things that I said earlier to kind of stay grounded and slow down. And I hope this helped somebody out there, literally anybody, and that'll be if anybody is thinking negative things or just kind of want somebody to talk about, my Instagram will probably be in the description of this video. But honestly, feel free to message me. I'll never not message you back. And if it takes a while for me to message you back, it's generally just because I haven't seen the message request or just haven't seen the message or because I'm like really busy. But I promise you, if you message me on Instagram, I will get to you as soon as I can. I love you all. I'm so, so grateful for everybody who watched this point, and I hope some of this or all of this made sense to somebody. And I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you next Wednesday or whenever you next listen to any episode. Thank you all. Have a nice week.